It's been 2 hours since voter registration stations were opened in South Africa. There have been no major reports of disruptions at stations, and it seems the IEC is facilitating a seamless voter registration process in the Cape Town metro at least. However, a concerning trend emerged as of yesterday, the strikingly low turnout for registration. Disillusionment and voter apathy has cut across both the young and old. We speak now to Nasiphi Same, who is standing by to tell us some of those reasons. Nasiphi Same, chief amongst which is a lack of trust when it comes to politicians. Why?
To as you put it, low voter turnout concerning not only to politicians but also various community leaders in these various communities, who some are encouraging the young and old to come out in their numbers and register to vote and make that all-important decision as to who is going to be leading them following the 2024 general elections for that term. However, a number of people that we're speaking to, as you put it, cut across both young and old, indicating that they will not be participating in the voter registration weekend. And basically, as you put it, the broken promises from politicians, including the lack of service delivery in these various communities. But to talk to us more about where we currently are, I'm joined by Anwar Alexandra, who is one of the residents here in Tafelsig. So are you surprised by the number of people that are actually not making their way through this door?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I've seen this coming because the reality is that the political parties, we see them only during this time, voter registration, voter days, and after that we don't see them at all. They only come here when we call them or when we have arranged something that they don't feel that we have asked them the permission to do so. So what we want to see here is the current reality, how people are feeling at this moment.
Have you registered to vote, Anwar?
Unfortunately not. I don't feel encouraged to vote, as I religiously voted for the ANC, and they has miserably disappointed me. I've changed to vote for a local guy from the DA, because I saw him coming from the ground, saw him doing his work now, and he has also now done exactly the same that the party that I used to choose done. He has also abandoned us. He has changed his morals and objectives, and he's abandoned us to fight still our battle here with immense poverty and lots of challenges, and the lives is not improving of the young or the old.
One would argue, Anwar, that if you don't register to vote and you don't, engage in that democratic process of voting for who's going to be leading not only this community but the nation come the 2024 elections, then basically, you are not playing your part in ensuring that the services that you speak of are implemented in this community.
Well, they have put us in this situation because from the EF to the ANC to DA, they are spending millions on their manifestos launches. Kurt Darren, many good artists, they had their launches. They are throwing lots of money into these people, and they have put us in the situation where we can't trust them anymore.
Can't trust them, feeling abandoned. That is basically what one of the residents here in Tafelsig in Ward 92 is indicating, that many of the people here are feeling like they are abandoned. And not too long ago, we actually received some figures of the number of people that actually made their way through this very door. About 151 people from this particular ward made their way in here to make use of the IEC services. However, we also understand that between 10 to 15% were youth, and up until this morning, or rather when the doors opened at 8 o'clock up until now, only about 20 people have made use of the service. So basically, translating in numbers, what Anwar is actually saying, that people are tired and they've come to a decision where they would rather, waive their democratic right in not only registering to vote but also voting, because they they believe that the broken promises and the abandonment by those that they elected in power has now put them in this very difficult position where they are basically abstaining.
Some residents of Tafelberg feeling abandoned. Thank you very much, Nasiphi Same, for that report. Let's see what the situation looks like in Mpumalanga, where the Independent Electoral Commission in that province says the voter registration process has so far been smooth, except for a few disturbances that Mweli Masilela is about to outline for us. Mweli Masilela, which spaces did community members force IEC officials to close their doors?
Yes, indeed, there were quite a few disturbances, especially yesterday here in Mpumalanga. I spoke to Tado Kolo Chambeni, who is part of the communications team at the Independent Electoral Commission here in Mpumalanga. One of those areas was actually Bushbuck Ridge. We are told that there was a protest there at Ward 11, Violet Bank, and also there was also another protest in Emalahleni, which is Ward 4, apparently residents there demanding to be addressed by the mayor, Leah Mabuza, and indeed she came to address them, but they were not happy with the issues in terms of her response, so that is why there was then that protest and hence the disruption. But also in the Dr. J.S. Moroka municipality, there was also some problems there, some disturbances, because some community members were actually not happy with some SATU members being part of those people employed by the IEC to do the work. They were actually saying that people who are unemployed should be the one who are taking those jobs, not teachers, because they are already permanently employed, so they should give those opportunities to other people. But other than that, according to the IEC in the province, the voter registration has been smooth in almost all the areas in the province. There's about 1,800 polling stations here in Mpumalanga. Some are permanent, but there are areas like the Kruger National Park where the IEC has set up some temporary structures to ensure that everyone is not left out. He or she is given that opportunity to register or check if his or her name is on the voters roll. But one key aspect that almost everyone has been talking about is the issue of young people not willing to come to register and make sure that they vote next year. But what we have seen at this particular voting station, which is Khumalo Semfundo, is that when we came here, there was quite a number of young people coming through to register, and according to some of those who are checking the names of people coming through, at least about 38 people who will be voting for the first time or registering for the first time came through since yesterday. So that tells you that at least there are some people who are willing to come through and register to vote. But also there's quite a number of factors as we speak to community members that lead them not to be much interested in the process of voter registration and voting. Service delivery, even yesterday where we were in Standerton, people saying that they've been voting for many years, but in terms of service delivery, there's still a lot that still needs to be done. But some not giving up, saying that they will continue voting. They've been voting since 1994. They believe that their vote will indeed make a difference to do so.
Okay, Mweli Masilela, thank you very much for the comprehensive update. We stay with that theme and take you to Lenasia. That's where we find Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo at Willowmead High School, south of Johannesburg. Thank you very much, Juniour Khumalo. You can perhaps pick up on what it is you have been witnessing so far this morning. What's the foot traffic looking like there?
Indeed, Tutu. We are in Lenasia, and instead of going to the registration stations, a lot of citizens here are actually gathered outside this high school, waiting for other community members to come and assist them with food parcels. So one thing that some of these community members have spoken to us about is the challenge of employment. So we see a large number of elderly South Africans and young kids actually gathered outside the school. There is like quite a few. Let me just stand outside the picture as we maybe walk with my colleague Katleho, just showing you the number of people that have gathered outside this school. It's like dozens of South Africans. Most of them have been complaining about this issue of unemployment and not having the basic services. Service delivery is not a thing that is happening here. And a lot of people have complained about the governing ANC that has been losing a bit of power in this place. We know that Al-Jamaa and parties such as the Patriotic Alliance as well as Action SA have actually been doing well in these areas, especially in the recent by-elections. But I'll just ask one of the community members to join us here, Miss Jennifer Mansfield, just to speak to Newzroom Afrika on some of the challenges that these community members are facing. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. What are some of the challenges that you are facing here as a community of Lenasia?
Mostly hunger. We're facing hunger and like jobs. We don't have enough jobs, and when they give feeding and then we'll be there, like most of the children is hungry too because of poverty. So I don't know.
It's a voter registration weekend right now, and South Africans are trying to go out to register. Eligible South Africans are going out to register. Is it worth your time to go out and register and vote in next year's elections, ma'am?
Yes, it is, but we do go register to vote, but then we still make time to come feed. You exactly. So it's the way it is. You make time for everything, like to vote and to come feed, because if you don't come to feed, then we'll be hungry.
Do you feel that political parties are doing enough to assist the community members here?
Oh, no, not really. Not really. I don't think they do enough. Because like as we vote, but still to then it's like this here. You see lots of the people coming for food, but we do register to vote. We vote every time, but nothing comes to it. So
thank you so much, ma'am. I'll just ask my colleague Ukatleho just to walk with me so that we just show you the numbers of people that have come out here to try and queue for food. Individuals, residents are saying that political parties are not doing enough. As you can see, they're using bags and lunch boxes to hold their place in this queue as they queue for food outside this high school. And the main complaint is that political parties are not doing enough, and civil society organizations are actually stepping in to fill in that gap and provide the services that they are not getting from the governing party. But despite not getting those services from the parties, they are still registering, and they want to definitely vote in next year's elections.
Juniour Khumalo is in Lenasia for us, just speaking to some elderly and showing us also visuals of young people. Those bags and those containers that you see on the floor is people, as Juniour Khumalo has outlined, booking their space so that when an NGO that comes to deliver food gets there, then they don't lose their space in line. Feelings from Lenasia of not much changing, feelings in the Western Cape, some cities that Newzroom Afrika has visited, of abandonment, and in Mpumalanga feelings of inequality and a lack of change as well, which has been pretty much the theme this weekend based on people that we have been speaking to on the ground. Juniour Khumalo, thank you very much for that report. Mweli, Masilela in Mpumalanga, thank you. Nasiphi Same is in Cape Town for us. And do stay with Newzroom.